Alright lads, so since we are near the end of January, we now have our forthcoming updates, or more so our dev comments for the month, where Caleb give us a brief insight on what they have planned for the next couple or so months. Just to give an example of how long it could potentially take for it to come into the game, the Accessory Revamp was, I believe, announced 2 months ago, and it has yet to come into the game. I would hope that it would come out sometime next month, and that's what I do believe would happen. And then we can also give other examples of the epic raid change and also the limited time single player quests. They came out like a week or two after they got announced on the dev comments, so it really ranges depending on what the update is going to be, whether it comes ASAP or it takes a few months to come to the game. For example, something that might come to the game very soon is going to be the daily orders, because as you can see for point number 1 of our dev comments, they have addressed the daily order situation. Because as you can see here, they do say the following: we are currently considering making some changes to daily orders and their rewards. Changes we are looking into include reducing the time it takes to complete your daily orders and adding new rewards such as power-up materials. We will make further announcements regarding the details and timing of these changes via the in-game notices. So now, as you can already see right there, daily orders are getting revamped, which I think is great. Now, there's no mention of any weekly order changes, which I would like to think would just come with it. They don't need to specifically mention the weekly orders, but daily orders definitely do need a change right now, because in-game, they are kind of lackluster or mediocre. There's very rarely do I actually ever focus on my daily orders. As you can see here, 5 orbs a day is great. I would love to see more, maybe up that to 10, but I don't see them up in the daily orbs, right? What they would probably change is stuff like this. 30,000 coins, 60 in a day is like kind of mediocre. 5 rainbow potions, yeah, nah, change that. Put that to 25 at the very least. Maybe get rid of these, because while they are great for new players, they also are easily farmed in certain content. I think droplets, for example, like 40 of every droplet, maybe even 80 a day of every color would actually be would probably be too good in my opinion. So I'm not really having a high expectation on what they could do for the daily orders. I would love to see a great change, but knowing Caleb, it's probably just going to be like 5 extra droplets a day or something like that. I don't have a massive expectation for what that could potentially be, but I am excited for it anyway, because as far as it comes from me, I don't really ever focus on my daily orders. Like, if I do them, I do them. If I don't care. I play the game, I just don't focus on doing my daily orders. Sometimes I don't feel like playing Brave Battles, so I don't play Brave Battles. Sometimes I don't want to play co-op, and I just want to farm the point event, so I don't farm co-op. So for me, there hasn't really been a massive need for me to do the daily orders outside of the 5 orbs, which I don't really care about because I buy orbs. For new players, though, for free-to-play players, I understand the need to do daily orders, and you definitely should be doing it. It's just me being, a bit lazy to a certain extent of why I don't do it, but I'm just focusing on other stuff in the game, and 5 of the day, isn't really worth the hassle for me. But seeing a change potentially could make me do my dailies, and if they do that, then that's definitely a good job on Caleb's part. In addition to that, though, we do have a second thing listed on the dev comment, a new single-player quest. Or quest, emphasis on quest, so plural. I'm very excited for this, because the game, I think, does need more content. At the same time, it's weird, right? Because I've always mentioned this in the past. BBS has a lot to do. Almost too much to do. But then at the same time, it feels like there isn't anything to do because of the lack of good rewards. And I feel like that's something Caleb need to address, and they hopefully should address sometime soon, right? And this is one thing that I think I'm really looking forward to, because as they say here, we'll go ahead and read it. In the 6th anniversary questionnaire, we received a lot of feedback from players saying they wanted different ways to play with their favorite characters. In response to this, we are considering introducing a new single player event quest type. This new quest type will not be like Inheritance Trials or Transcendence Training Grounds, wherein certain characters will have distinct advantage. Rather, we want to focus on giving players the unique action game thrill of defeating a large number of enemies. The plan is still in the early stages, but we will share details via in-game notices when we have something more concrete to tell you. So as you can see right here, whatever they have planned is in the really early stages, to the point that they can't probably even show us screenshots. There's nothing to go on right now besides the fact that they say it's not going to be like Transcendence Trials. It's not going to be like the Training Grounds. So it's not going to be a limited time quest. It's probably something that you could potentially farm. But at the same time too, since it is a single player quest, I don't think it's going to be something like, introducing a new power-up system. I don't think it's going to be something like Inheritance Trials, Inheritance Zone, where you need to farm it non-stop. This is probably going to be something that you do maybe weekly and get hopefully a decent amount of rewards where we can use anyone that you want. And they do mention here that they want to give you the unique action game through of defeating a large number of enemies. So maybe a wave type game mode, something that Guild Quest kind of scratches, but doesn't really fulfill for the most part. So I'm kind of interested in what they're going to do here, but I'm all for it. Again, more content is always great. A single player quest is something that this game kind of does lack for the most part, because most of the stuff that we do get, Inheritance Trials, IZ, you know, Epic Rates, it's all co-op content, and sometimes you don't want to play with anyone. You just want to go into a single player quest and play at your own pace with your own characters. So having more single player content quests like this, as they, you know, emphasize that there's no characters giving a distinct advantage. They literally mean you can use whoever you want, your favorite characters. As long as your favorite character isn't a character that came out 6 years ago, then you should probably have a fun time playing this. So I'm really curious to see what this is going to be here. Hopefully the rewards are going to be decent to just play around with, and hopefully the event itself can be quite fun, because as long as it's that, as long as it has decent enough rewards, as long as it doesn't take too much time, and as long as I can actually use whoever I want to use, then that's going to be a great change to the game, and I'm actually all for this event. So hopefully it comes out sometime soon. Can't wait to see more information about that. But yeah, with that, like, that's basically all the stuff that we did get today. Only 2 simple ones, you know, daily order changes and a new single player quest. But this is kind of big. Like, just for them to announce it here is kind of cool. Like, this is something that you would actually announce on, like, on a Blanca live stream, for example. So I'm kind of hoping they can actually go off the walls with this one and actually make a pretty fun game mode that isn't really seen as a grind fest or something that just isn't worth doing, like Arena, for example. They also do mention misconduct, and they just mention how people are still cheating in Arena, for example, whether that's modding or macroing. Don't macro in Arena. That's just a dick move in my opinion, but yeah, looking forward to the changes in 2022. They do mention here that they are trying to make Bleach Bracelets the best game possible, and they are welcoming feedback. So even though a lot of the times our feedback doesn't seem like it's being heard, we are heard. It just really comes down to if they want to adapt on that feedback, right? And I'm really hoping in 2022 most of the problems that we do have in this game can be fixed. The accessory revamp should happen sometime next month, and then daily orders are getting revamped. They're adding a new way to play with our favorite characters. So yeah, it's looking good already. It's looking good already. Can't wait to see what they do with the rest of the year. So that's it, lads. That was the video for today. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know what you want to see when it comes to this new single player quest. For me, with the way they worded it, it sounds like a way type of game modes, but not to the likes of something like Guild Quest, for example. So I'm excited for it. Hopefully lads are too, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.